Yo, what's up YouTube family? It's your boy Cozy back at you with another hot TikTok reaction video. Today we will be reacting to some strange and bizarre TikTok reactions. I'm talking about the kind that's gonna have you questioning everything. That said, if you're new to the channel, go ahead, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I drop some new hot content that you definitely don't want to miss. One more thing, are you ready for the show? Are you ready? Spam in the comment section. Let's go!
Few know of the ancient race of dog-headed men, better known as the cynocephala or cynocephala in Spanish. A cynocephalus was essentially a man with the head of a dog. They could understand language but had no ability to speak. Though they are sometimes depicted in artwork as being civilized, they were by all reports savage beasts who lived to hunt and to kill. While this may sound like just another mythical creature, there are very good reasons to believe that the cynocephala may have actually existed. Across history, there have been many reports of races of jackal-headed or dog-headed people. Even the Greeks and ancient Egyptians knew and wondered about this strange race of beings. In Egyptian mythology, dog-headed gods existed, and many paintings and statues were made in their honor. Above all of them, these dog-headed men were described in reports by famous explorers such as Christopher Columbus and Marco Polo. Around 400 BC, the Greek physician Ctesias wrote the following passages, translated to English from Greek, describing the tribes of Cynocephalus. They speak no language, but bark like dogs, and in this manner make themselves understood by each other. Their teeth are larger than those of dogs, their nails like those of these animals, but longer and rounder. They inhabit the mountains as far as the river Indus. Their complexion is swarthy. They are extremely just, like the rest of the Indians with whom they associate. They understand the Indian language but are unable to converse, only barking or making signs with their hands and fingers by way of reply. They live on raw meat. They number about 120,000. The cynocephala living on the mountains live by hunting. When they have killed an animal they roast it in the sun. They also rear numbers of sheep, goats, and asses, drinking the milk of the sheep and whey made from it. They eat the fruit of the Sipticora, whence amber is procured, since it is sweet. They also dry it and keep it in baskets, as the Greeks keep their dried grapes. They make rafts which they load with this fruit together with well-cleaned purple flowers and 260 talents of amber, with the same quantity of the purple dye, and 1,000 additional talents of amber, which they send annually to the King of India. They exchange the rest for bread, flour, and cotton stuffs with the Indians, from whom they also buy swords for hunting wild beasts, bows, and arrows, being very skillful in drawing the bow and hurling the spear. They cannot be defeated in war, since they inhabit lofty and inaccessible mountains. Every 5 years the king sends them a present of 300,000 bows, as many spears, 120,000 shields, and 50,000 swords. They do not live in houses, but in caves. They set out for the chase with bows and spears, and as they are very swift of foot, they pursue and soon overtake their quarry. The women have a bath once a month, the men do not have a bath at all, but wash their hands. They anoint themselves 3 times a month with oil made from milk and wipe themselves with skins. The clothes of men and women alike are not skins with the hair on, but skins tanned and very fine. The richest wear linen clothes, but they are few in number. They have no beds, but sleep on leaves or grass. He who possesses the greatest number of sheep is considered the richest, and so in regard to their other possessions. All, both men and women, have tails above their hips, like dogs, but longer and more hairy. They are just, and live longer than any other men, 170, sometimes 200 years. The dog-headed men were a fierce warrior tribe, but they also traded with the few humans they trusted. They were reported to live primarily in India and northern Africa, but were seen in many places in between. The texts don't stop there. In China, a Buddhist missionary, Wei Sheng, wrote about dog-headed men on an island to the east of Fusang. Perhaps the most famous cynocephalus is Christianity's Saint Christopher, who was described in several texts as having the body of a man but the head of a dog. Not only that, but originally the future saint was said to have been a wild and fierce warrior who was captured in battle in Cyrenaica. Not only was this creature a very large man with a dog's head, but came from a warrior tribe of dog-headed men who looked similar to him. According to Christian mythology, he eventually met Jesus Christ and learned the error of his former ways. He repented and became baptized and eventually received sainthood and the gift of a human appearance. Multiple historical images show Saint Christopher as having the head of a dog. One Italian monk by the name of Odoric of Pordenone, who traveled about converting people between 1317 and 1330, claimed to have come across the cynocephala at the island of Nicovaran. They were described as being somewhat brutish, but displaying a form of organized religion, worshipping oxen and wearing various gold and silver religious charms. French Inquisitor Cardinal Pierre Dely claimed in 1410 that there existed a race of dog-headed humans in India, as well as a one-eyed variation of the creatures referred to as the Charismaspi. Explorer Giovanni da Pian del Carpine also mentions a race of dogheads which he claimed inhabited the lands north of the Dali Northern Ocean, and Lake Baikal. Indeed, depictions of the cynocephala appeared on maps of the time, similar to the dragons and other wondrous
The cynocephala. Man, a race of dog-faced, dog-headed people. Now, do you think this is a curse that was cast upon them a long time ago by God, maybe Satan or something else? Or do you think this is just a breed of people? And just because, they say they're a breed of people does not mean you can forget that they are chimeras, half human and half, I would say, a dog or a jackal, which reminds me of the Egyptian god of death, Anubis. Some would say Snoop Dogg, but we mean Anubis, But yeah, it's crazy, man. Some of these things that we was taught in the past that we thought was was fiction are facts. Like, who would have known that a dog-headed person was real, could be real walking around like that? And there's plenty evidence in our history over our time that, these beings, these people existed and probably still exist today. I mean, that's crazy. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section, though. A real life Anubis.
Cynocephaly is a mythical trait where a person has the head of a dog or jackal. The word literally means dog-headedness, implying a human body with a dog's head. This mythological concept appears in stories and legends from various cultures, including ancient Egypt, India, Greece, and China. But the Michigan Dogman was a creature allegedly seen in 1887 by two lumberjacks. It was described as a 7-foot-tall bipedal creature with canine-like features, blue or amber eyes, the torso of a man, and a terrifying howl that sounds like a human scream. According to legends, the Michigan Dogman appears every 10 years, specifically in years ending in 7, so 2027. Sightings mostly happen in the northwestern part of Michigan's Lower Peninsula. Believers say that clapping can scare the dogman away. In 1937, in Paris, Michigan, Robert Fortney claimed he was attacked by 5 wild dogs, and one of them walked on 2 legs. Other similar sightings have been reported throughout the years. In Wisconsin, the Beast of Bray Road is the name given to a wolf-like creature that has been reported near Elkhorn, Walworth County. It is also described as a 6 to 7 foot tall creature with a humanoid body covered in fur, a wolf-like head, and large glowing red or orange eyes.
Man, that's crazy. Now, I'm glad he showed a depiction of a werewolf, because in my humble opinion, in my head, I was kind of thinking like, dang, could that be where they got the idea of werewolf, or what they would call a wereman or a wolf man back in the day, which is crazy. Now, another theory, you got these dog-headed people. Now, who's to say that the lion-headed people, the Lyrans, can't be real, other than, they said they come up from outer space, which probably is probably wrong, most likely, because we, what we know about outer space. Maybe they come from another dimension, or maybe they come from somewhere here on Earth. It's just something to think about. If that's not too far-fetched, what else is it?
In the 1980s, military personnel during the Cold War would begin citing these beings as well. Numerous reports would come back, and that's when the Lake Baikal incident took place. Apparently, lore like this surrounded all kinds of lakes in Russia. Stories of giants is far from where the mysteries would end surrounding these lakes, especially Lake Baikal. In 2009, a group of astronauts on the International Space Station snapped this picture. It was during the winter months for Lake Baikal, so it was frozen over. But it is believed a large circular craft exited the water, which is why the ice was all broken up. One of them was spotted at the southern border of the lake, while the other was located almost dead center. In 1958, there was a Tu-154 airplane crash, where it is said UFOs pursued a plane over Lake Baikal, then disappeared. Now this is where it gets really interesting. Medieval explorers Marco Polo and Giovanni del Carpine would mention cynocephali, which means dog heads. Yes, you heard me right. There are accounts from Marco Polo and other medieval explorers talking about the tribe of dog-headed people that lived on Lake Baikal. Giovanni writes the armies of Oghedi Khan would encounter these dog-headed people, the people who lived of the north, Dalai Nor, or Northern Ocean, also known as Lake Baikal. Marco Polo writes vaguely of his accounts with the cynocephali people, namely during his explorations of island Agamemnon. He would describe it as a very large island, without a king or idolaters. These beings were no better than wild beasts. I assure you, he would explain, the tribe on Agamemnon have heads like dogs, and teeth and eyes likewise. In fact, in the face, they are all like big mastiff dogs. They have an abundance of spices, but they are a most cruel generation, and they would eat anybody they catch, if not of their own species. From there, Polo and his team proceeded north, where they would end up in Samogete, where they proceeded onto a country that was lying on the open sea. This is where they found certain monsters, who in all things represented the shape of men, saving their feet. Their feet were like the feet of an ox, and they indeed had men's heads, but dogs' faces. They would speak 2 words as if they were men, but the third they would bark like fierce dogs. These were some of many accounts of medieval explorers. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow if you want to see more interesting stories like this.
Cynocephali. You believe the stories to be true? I really do think that's where they got the werewolf stories from and the werewolf from. Like, it just, you know, it's too much of a coincidence to me, in my opinion. But I'm not saying werewolves aren't real separately as their own entity and not a cynocephali. I'm not saying that.
Developed the remnants of man until it was completely consumed. Only size and shape hint at its former physique, as flesh is now obscured by fur. As we come closer and closer to our Lord's return, the creatures created by sin during the antediluvian periods will appear more frequently. As the light shines, darkness grows, and the line between man and beast becomes blurred.
I spent a bunch of time recording a video of me describing the cynocephali, and it just totally deleted itself. So I'm gonna try this again. So cynocephali, or dog-headed people, is a really cool phenomenon that happens all over the world. I'm mostly interested in like medieval depictions of dog-headed people. The word itself comes from a society that was described by ancient Greeks. It was a society said to have been found in modern-day India that traded with people and were just normal people, just had dog heads. And I think it's really interesting how the description went from an actual group of people to what later in medieval times would be more or less a metaphor for paganism. There's a theory that cynocephali originated from ancient descriptions of baboons, which if you look at a baboon skull, it looks kind of like a mix of a dog skull and a human skull. And I guess if you've never seen a baboon before, it looks kind of like a dog-headed person wearing a fur, like of an animal. So That's kind of what I think it originated from. It's hard to say it didn't. But, I mean, it's still cool to imagine that dog-headed people just actually existed, because there's so many different cultures that did describe this. So it's a little weird to just, like, summarize it into this very specific, this is where it came from. But in medieval times, it was described as a society of people that just everyone generally believed existed. There were lots of writings about whether or not they should be saved, like baptized, if they're children of God, children of Adam, and whether or not, you know, they deserve to be Christian. So with that, I personally think it's more of a metaphor for paganism. There's a really interesting story about St. Patrick in Ireland. He goes to Ossory and finds a group of pagans that praise wolves and curses them because they refuse to follow the teachings of Jesus. And so he curses them to be wolves forever, which is kind of interesting. I'm having a hard time like sticking all this together into like 1 3-minute video or it making much sense. So if you want like another video of me describing or a specific culture or whatever, I'd make a part 2 if you want. Yeah.
What if I told you that
I ain't gonna lie, y'all, cynocephaly is kind of a topic, but it's a good topic. Like, man, if you do some research on it, you gonna find out some stuff. I promise you, man, because I'm still finding out more and more about it as, you know, just watching this video is crazy.
Christopher, who is often depicted as a dog-headed saint, actually was a dog-headed saint. And not only that, but I could prove it. Would you keep watching? You see, not only have these dog-headed creatures been talked about throughout history, but I actually found one. A petrified one. A really, really, really well-known petrified one.
There you go.
But before I show you actual evidence of the Egyptian demigod Anubis's remains, I gotta build a case. And I'm gonna let a few people who have built the case for this do this for me.
Throughout history, there have been numerous accounts of dog-headed people living in distant lands. You've probably seen images of the cynocephalus before. Cyno means dog, and cephalus means of the head. For example, you've probably seen the Egyptian god Anubis, the god of death and embalming. Anubis has been found in Egyptian tombs, and he has the body of a man and the head of a jackal. This is a cynocephalus. The detailed written accounts by explorers, conquerors, and missionaries of these cynocephali in India, Asia, Africa, and Europe are actually rather consistent. In fact, these strange beasts were described in writings as recent as the last few hundred years. There are clear depictions of cynocephali in the writings of St. Augustine, Alexander the Great, Marco Polo, even Christopher Columbus.
Maps as recent as the Piri-Reis map of 1513 actually depict the cynocephaly. I found pictures of this map, and guess what? These beings are on here, clear as day. Not only once, but twice. Here's a still image of it, and it's a real map. I verified it.
One of the earliest accounts of the cynocephaly dates back to around 400 BC. In Indica, Greek physician Ctesias describes the wondrous land now known as India, where trees grew to staggering heights, elephants roamed the jungles, and a race of dog-headed people inhabited the lofty and inaccessible mountains. They speak no language but bark like dogs, and in this manner make themselves understood by each other. They understand the Indian language but are unable to converse, only barking or making signs with their hands and fingers by way of reply.
Notice they're talking hands and fingers, not paws.
Of course, the infamous John Mandeville also published an account of the cynocephaly in his travels, which circulated in the mid to late 1300s. This account is more similar to Ctesias in that the cynocephaly are described as intelligent and reasonable, even devout, with the only odd characteristic being that they tend to eat their prisoners of war. After that isle go men by the sea ocean, by many isles, unto an isle that is clept Nakumera, that is a great isle, and good, and fair. And all the men and women of that isle have hounds' heads, and they be clept cynocephalies, and they be full reasonable and of good understanding, save...
Now, St. Christopher is not only said to be a dog-headed being, but also a giant being. A giant so big that part of the reason he became a saint is because he was carrying people across this river, because he was so tall in it that he could carry people on his shoulders. And it was even said that he helped carry Jesus across when Jesus was a child. So up until this point, I've only presented you evidence from other people, other people's stories, other people's maps depicting these beings. But this is where I come in. This is where I seal the deal and hopefully open your eyes to the fact that not only did these exist, but they existed on a stature bigger than your wildest dreams. What I want to first remind you of is there have been giants here. The Bible talks about it, and we see evidence all around us. Evidence of the mountains literally being petrified giants, titans in fact. And let me also remind you that not only were there giants, but there was wickedness in those days. There was cannibalism, and there was hybridization of humans and animals. And this is where I really step in. I had heard that this giant cave that resembled a dragon was in Egypt, so I wanted to explore Egypt. But instead of finding this, I found something much, much bigger. I found the literal corpse of petrified Anubis right in the middle of Egypt, shown here with his head even down to mouth and nose. Now you might not see it at first, but let me just make it a little more clear. We have his mouth here and his nose, his eyeball, his whole head here obviously, neck down to his body and torso, and he even has a tail. And when compared to some images of Anubis, you can see they look pretty similar. But there's a smoking gun, and I'm about to show it to you. You see, even in the hieroglyphics, Anubis is depicted with this, and sometimes that is in his staff, kind of like in this hieroglyph. And even in cartoon images, he's depicted with it. And I don't know about you, but what I see in that staff, I see right here, even with its long, straight, petrified staff. Now, if that's not a smoking gun telling you that this is actually the Egyptian demigod Anubis, I don't know what is. Now, I went on to find some even crazier anomalies in this terrain, like this bird-looking creature right here, and this owl-looking one right here that I'll show you in a second. But let me also point out his tail that comes down and around. And it just so happened that I found a bird hieroglyph that looks very similar to that bird outline in the terrain of Egypt. And even though this one's harder to see, also an owl in the terrain of Egypt with its face being right there. It's the dark outline there. And all of them, the bird, owl, and even possibly Anubis in one giant hieroglyph. And I don't know about you, but that head looks awfully small for that body. Kind of like it was an afterthought. Kind of like originally, maybe it was something different. Now, luckily for me, you can explore this yourself. All you have to do is take a little trip to Egypt and see what you see. Now, I know this is a whomper of a tale, but I think I've provided you some pretty solid evidence to at least open your mind to some of these things. And maybe next time, I'll talk about this giant-looking platypus thing that's 3 times the size of Anubis, also in Egypt. That's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed my tale of entertainment. Of course I know there's no such thing as dog-headed creatures. No, we just live in this physical world where only humans have evolved from apes, and we live on a spinning planet, and Big Bang happened. Yeah, all that stuff. Just for entertainment purposes. You guys know I'm a satire account. Have a great day.
Cynocephala. You know what I wonder? Just like they have the cynocephala, the dog-headed man, do they have some type of feline-headed men, or, you know, women, like, whatever? Like, this is getting a little strange, a little weird. But you know what? It's a good way for us to find that out. Do our research. Let's get it. Y'all, I'm telling you, this ain't gonna all be about cynocephaly. It's gonna have some other clips in it too. So bear with me, or you can fast forward. But if I was you, I wouldn't fast forward at all, man, because you're definitely gonna miss something that you definitely want to see or hear. Because the ending, it's gonna be really good. So if I was you, I wouldn't leave just too yet. You know what I'm saying? Or just yet. Man, what is wrong with me? Just yet. Oh, I had to think for a second, but I wouldn't leave just yet. Yeah, I hope somebody else called me too on that one in the comment section down below.
The cynocephaly, and the most famous one of them all, St. Christopher, the dog-headed humans. Now they say it was just from a mistranslation in Latin, or a depiction of a foreigner from faraway lands. That is the excuse the mainstream gives us for all of the depictions of St. Christopher as a dog-headed human, or as history accurately refers to them as cynocephaly. Now there is a reason why, all across this realm, much like giants, these cynocephaly are depicted in near exact detail. It was not some elaborate prank from a world that was not supposedly connected. It should be quite clear. They depicted exactly what they saw. Our true history is far stranger than fiction.
Man, what kind of reality are we living in where we have animal-headed people? Now, we seeing this now. Do y'all believe the race of Horus is real? Like, not the race of Horus, but the bird-headed people. Wasn't Horus from this Egyptian lore? Wasn't he a half bird or head of a bird and body of a man? Let me know if I'm correct in the comment section, but it's getting strange right now, man. It's going. This video is kind of making me rethink everything, like I said.
The race of ascended birds is known as the avians, and they are generally known for their agreeable nature. The leaders of the avians are referred to as the blue avians, specifically Ra Terror. Mephos serves as their leader on the left, while Kethos acts as the second in command on the right. The avians originate from the planets Avian, Abina, Kethsi, and Bronidal, all located in the Lyra galaxy, which is situated 25 light-years away from Earth. They also have bases established in other galaxies. On the planet Bronidal, the entire surface is covered with a unique dry and crumbly substance that is distinct from stone, rock, or any other familiar form of matter. It is composed of decayed and disintegrated shoes. Abina, on the other hand, possesses a shattered core and is surrounded by floating islands. The Blue Avians are part of the Sphere Alliance, a group overseeing the solar system to prevent conflict and war in the galaxy. Acting as the ambassador for the bird beings in this particular galaxy is Dehuti. The avians themselves are humanoid giant birds, surpassing the average height of a human, standing at approximately 10 feet tall. Their wings, reaching up to 15 feet in length, enable them to soar through the skies. However, not all ascended bird beings possess physical wings. Some manifest their wings through the power of the mind. The avian beings are known for their divine and highly spiritual nature. While they share similarities with the Carians in demeanor and attributes, the avians are generally more benevolent. In contrast, the Carians maintain a neutral stance. The Blue Avians are not involved in galactic politics focused on domination or control. Conversely, the Carians firmly believe in upholding order at any cost, with the belief that the ends justify the means. Allegedly, the Carians were the first bird-like sentient species to emerge in the universe, and they consider it their birthright and destiny to rule all of existence, even indirectly. However, their approach is not that of conquerors but rather strategists and thinkers, akin to chess players. It raises intriguing questions as to why the Carians would be associated with Mother Hubbard in creating the reptilians, a race that thrives on conquest and dominance.
Now we got the bird-headed people, as in the avian race, better yet known as the avian blues. Man, what is going on? Like I said, this video is starting to make me rethink reality, rethink everything. I'm starting to question reality and rethink everything. I'm starting to question everything and rethink reality. What's really going on, man? A bird-headed race of people. This is getting out of hand.
The blue avians are a fascinating and complex species within the touchable universe, particularly noted in Sector 1, As their name suggests, they possess a distinct bird-like appearance with a predominant blue coloration, symbolizing their celestial and serene nature. Their evolution journey is remarkable, starting from animalistic origins and progressively evolving into sentient, intelligent beings. This transformation underscores a significant advancement in their cognitive and conscious abilities, suggesting a profound development in intelligence, self-awareness, and possibly technological advancements. The most intriguing aspect of their evolution is their ascension to higher dimensions, reaching up to the 9th dimension. In these higher dimensions, they likely possess abilities and understandings far beyond the comprehension of lower dimensional beings, possibly including advanced psychic abilities, manipulation of energy and matter, or even time. Their role in fostering interstellar communication and diplomacy in Sector 1 of the touchable universe indicates their commitment to sharing their advanced knowledge and wisdom with other species. It also suggests their role as peacekeepers and mediators, using their advanced understanding to help maintain harmony among various species. This ascension suggests an extraordinary level of consciousness and spiritual understanding. In these higher dimensions, they are likely to experience and interact with the universe in ways that are incomprehensible to less evolved beings. Their spirituality could encompass profound insights into the nature of existence, the interconnectedness of all life, and a deep understanding of cosmic energy and consciousness. 2. Technological prowess. Alongside their spiritual evolution, the blue avians have also developed advanced technology. Their role in fostering interstellar communication and diplomacy in Sector 1 of the touchable universe indicates their commitment to sharing their advanced knowledge and wisdom with other species. It also suggests their role as peacekeepers and mediators, using their advanced understanding to help maintain harmony among various species. Their keen understanding of energy dynamics and harmonious nature likely play a crucial role in their higher dimensional existence. Their spirituality could encompass profound insights into the nature of existence, the interconnectedness of all life, and a deep understanding of cosmic energy and consciousness. Alongside their spiritual evolution, the blue avians have also developed advanced technology. With such advancements, the blue avians likely play a crucial role in the cosmic ecosystem. Their understanding of both spiritual and material realms positions them as key figures in interstellar diplomacy, conflict resolution, and the dissemination of knowledge and wisdom. They may act as mentors or guides to less advanced species, sharing insights that help others in their evolutionary journey.
The avian raised.
Do you think there are sacred bloodlines?
When you say sacred,
do you think there are bloodlines they want to protect?
I can answer that. Now, a lot of us don't, if you ever watched the movie with Tom Hanks, Angels and Demons,
right?
They lay this stuff out for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that you think it's entertainment, and so you wash it out as it's just entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They talked about the Merovingian line or the Merovingian bloodline, right? That was purportedly, and I know a lot of Christians may get angry with me, was purportedly the line of Christ. He actually had children. And if you read the Bible as it is and stop letting Reverend Porkchop read it to you, you will see that there was a person in that book named Simon Bar Jesus.
Bar means son of in Hebrew.
And if that is the son of Jesus...
Sacred bloodline.
Do you think that we have aliens come, flying around or whatever?
What do you think?
There's no reason not to. There's no reason not to think that Mars and all these planets don't have life. I interviewed jet pilots that were solid people. Perfect. Great pilots, great everything. And they said, we saw things, sir, that were very strange. Like a round ball, but it wasn't a comet or a meteor. And it was going 4 times faster than an F-22, which is a very fast plane, And it was round, which is in theory great shape. Area 51 or whatever it is, I think it's the #1 tourist attraction in the whole country or something. Area 51 in Las Vegas. Do you know that, right?
Sure, I know what it is. This is the speculation about Mars, that Mars had an atmosphere at one point in time, a long time ago, that could support life. It also had large bodies of water.
People coming from space,
Yes.
And I know you're interested in that.
I'm very interested in that. How much did they tell you about that?
A lot.
Really?
is Trump, is he on point with this situation with what he's being asked? Does he know what he's talking about, or is he just misleading us? I want to know that in the conversation. You know, purposely misleading us at that.
Got ARPs and Glock Jams, don't trip, it's plenty poles. Swing the back door, I'm the back end, bitch, I'm throwing foes.
Imagine all of their sacrifice. The sacrifices made so we can witness the strength of a woman.
It will tear you apart. Demons do not like us. No human being is favored by a demon, no matter how much you've done for them, no matter how much you've helped them, no matter how much you've supported them, no matter how many victims you've offered them. They will kill you at the first chance they can get. They will rip your skin off of your body at the first chance they can get. Don't ever believe they will support you. They will betray you, they will lie to you, they will steal from you, they will do everything they can to drag you into their hellholes.
I'm Joe Biden, I'm Jill Biden's husband. Gov, thank you for the introduction. And to the Gila Indian River community, the Gila, nothing wrong with me. Gila River Indian community.
Big facts, big facts. Do y'all see what's going on? I mean, do you really see what's going on? Let me know what you think about that clip down below in the comment section.
Have you seen this? The feds have raided the prison P. Diddy is being held at. Have you ever heard of the feds raiding a prison before? Can you smell the air? That's a cover-up. They're after something and it has something to do with Diddy. This is straight up corruption here. Seriously, what is going on right now on this planet?
Of me, folks. Now, do y'all believe that, or do y'all think that was, false information? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you do, what do you think it was for? What reasons do you think they were raiding the jail that Diddy's in?
I didn't watch the VMAs, but I did see stuff. Sabrina Carpenter. Why is she kissing an alien on stage? I adore her. I love her to death. I didn't understand that part. Why didn't she kiss a girl? Like, that was weird. Like, the whole thing was kind of, like, weird altogether. The Sabrina girl, she said my name on the red carpet, and I thought that was kind of cool. Because I forget I'm famous sometimes, but I thought it was kind of cool. The Sabrina girl, Carpenter, she said something about shit, and I was like, thanks, that's cool.
Mainstream alien agenda.
I think they trying to get us ready to date aliens. They just trying to ease it up on us, man. They trying to ease it on us. Let me know what you think. You think they trying to ease it on us slowly? Man, that's crazy. They look like the alien off of the girl alien off of The Fifth Element. The blue alien with the big old head, big old water jug, watermelon head. That's who that look like. That is crazy. Man, I ain't finna mess with no alien.
And now we're going to plug in Giphion for the first time and turn on the computer.
Giphion is going to be a factory of intelligence. And this factory of intelligence is a new industry that never existed before. It sits on top of the IT industry. We're inventing something fundamentally new. I can feel that I am not the only king in this room. I think the other one has a leather jacket on, and I think it's very cool. So have you...
Skynet is now activated. That's all I heard when they plugged it up.
Project Veilbreaker was a machine that could tear a hole in the fabric of space and time and allow us to observe parallel realities. However, the project ended once scientists saw what was on the other side. Meddling with powers well beyond their comprehension, the scientists opened up several unstable rifts to other worlds. rifts that would cause gravity anomalies and minor destruction to their immediate surroundings. The men soon saw the destruction their curiosity could bring. Opening a rift so large and unstable it sent out energy anomalies at random. These anomalies would atomize anything they would get close to and killed several civilians and researchers, from flesh and bone to dust within a single moment, leaving behind only the scorch marks of where their bodies stood before they died. Worst of all, something on the other side decided to take a peek at our world, an entity so titanic that our reality could not handle its full shape, appearing only as a nightmarish mouth in the sky, an entity so monstrous the scientist immediately shut down the machine and locked the monster out from our reality.
This here is a reality, man. The movie The Mist is based off of this right here. I'm gonna do more videos on that topic for sure, though, because we're gonna get into the nitty gritty of what's really going on, what really went on in that situation.
Four-dimensional holographic moon.
Get it, man? They hear the deceit.
Alexa, does the firmament touch the earth?
Cannon.
The firmament is said to be made of solid ice occupying the space between the earth and the first heaven. Alexa, is anyone able to get to space from going through the firmament?
Cannon.
No one is able to reach space by going through the firmament. The firmament is considered to be a barrier that has never been penetrated by humans, not even in science fiction or NASA's outer space movies. Thank you.
This is getting spooky.
I always deworm. I deworm everybody the first month of the cleanse. We have to deworm you because you can have a hookworm or a tapeworm or a fluke worm up in there stopping all action because they hate when you start trying to clean them out. They hold on to their dear life. I done seen people pull a worm out their butt and the worm will break off and the other half of the worm will suck back in their booty hole and then regrow itself. So it's some nasty, gnarly things when you start dealing with an acidic medium.
That deworming is very serious, guys. Parasites are real. Get them in the comment section if y'all want some videos about parasite cleanses and deworming and stuff like that. Let's get into the health benefits a little bit. Y'all spam the comment section. Let me know. The more I get, the more I'm prone to make a video or a couple of videos about it.
I remember Sterling came. Actually, our coach came along and he said, "You guys don't be upset, but I've been told to take y'all out after the first 5 minutes of the game because Sterling want to see
check this out.
David Robinson keep the scoring title in the West." Because he didn't want Shaquille O'Neal to get the scoring title in the East.
I remember when he hit 60 or something like that.
70.
70.
He 70. He had 43
Timeout. So
and
that
half.
game was fixed. He told y'all that y'all not gonna play because he want them.
Took us out, and if you go back and watch that game, we didn't play after that.
I remember Dave Robinson.
And I remember
70,
walking off the bench
but I don't know
toward the end of the game, and I'm out. They can't offer me enough. I'm done.
You out of there.
Backstory on the history. I remember that 70. I remember that being the game.
You ask Mark Jackson or Ron Harper, they'll tell you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Donald Sterling.
Don't tell me this, Dominique. You tell me they rigging games like this? I knew sometimes the refs, you know what I'm saying, would do some fishy things, but they would be moving like this, David Stern. Come on. Took the scoring title from Shaq just to keep it. I understand it from a business perspective. Don't get it twisted, y'all. These sports are businesses. But that's crazy.
Castor oil comes from the castor bean. It's a very, very, very potent, very strong moving herb. Not only is it astringent, but it will break up things that's not supposed to be there. And the good thing about it is you can put a castor oil pack on and it will seep down into the bones and begin to work, but it won't break up the bone. That's what I love about castor oil. So castor oil is amazing.
Castor oil, the elixir of nature, nourishes from root to soul, bringing strength and renewal where life needs healing.
Gonna have to talk.
Kyrie Irving posted on his page a black native on his page. Then on his story he posted, "We are the grandchildren of the Indians you weren't able to remove." Y'all know how I feel about that Indian part, but let's get to the basis of it. The OGs know I've covered this topic and said that it does not make sense to go all the way to another continent to bring them over here to work as slaves when there are already people here. And I want y'all to know that Europe sent criminals to the New World to die. That's why they stand so proudly for the American flag, because it took them 313 years to erase, enslave, kill, and reclassify and colonize this country. Throughout history, when colonizers would come to other countries and continents or lands, when you are fighting for your land and your freedom and you don't win that battle, you become a slave, a prisoner of war. The sacredness of this beautiful land, they wanted to fight for it because their ancestors are here. They're buried under the mounds of it. So what happened when you're a prisoner of war on your own land and you're working on your own land? They knew what they were going to do on paper, the reclassifications, but the land, our DNA, and the stories will be told and passed down. So what do you do when that happens? As a master, a slave master who's trying to take over an entire land, you separate the families and you send them into all different directions so nobody can figure out their roots. You change their last name. And when you create the system, you don't give them a nationality. You call them a colored or black. American Indians were reclassified as Negro and colored during the colonial years. During that time of them writing up all the lies, individuals falsely claimed Native American ancestry to gain government benefits. But that's just the thoughts that's been running in my head. Don't argue with me though, argue with Kyrie Irving.
Important. It's important. That's important. That's a great video clip, great breakdown. Y'all show Real Kai some love. If y'all don't know her already, she has a YouTube. Y'all go to her YouTube and check her out. Don't forget to show us some love, like, subscribe.
What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Brass, aka Raps Truth Seeker, and I'm here to share a warning with you guys. This is not the only warning that I have for you guys, but this is one that you probably are more familiar with, and you're gonna see more of it. You're gonna see more people talking like this. Please do not write these people off. Please do not write people like myself who will share these messages off. We are telling you what's going on, and we know that mentally right now, as far as a society, we truly just want things to be okay. And when you hear people who are giving these messages like this man who I'm about to show you is, you have to understand, they want the same thing. They want their children to be able to go to sleep peacefully. They want to be able to eat when they wake up. They want to be able to live in homes that they can afford. They want to be able to help people. It's not a fun game when you're out here truth seeking and actually sharing the messages, especially messages that come from the Most High. So what I want you guys to do is sit back and just consume what this man is saying and understand that this is where you are as a society. I'm someone who has said this, and now this man is another person who has said this, and he's doing it outright. All right, so let's get it.
You see, this dollar bill says in God we trust. I want to tell you something. The dollar bill also says a new world order. It says order out of chaos. So a lot of y'all might think I'm crazy or bugged out, right? But I'm gonna tell you, when y'all see when this hit the fan, y'all gonna see how real it is. If you look at your celebrities like Drake, Nicki Minaj, Beyonce, most of our actors and entertainers, why they tell us they sold to Satan? I'm gonna tell you something. It's either God or Satan, ladies and gentlemen. But let me show you the worth of this dollar bill real quick. I want to show you something. This is what the dollar bill is gonna be worth. I want y'all to pay attention. The cashless society is coming. The dollar bill is about to explode. That's why we getting on here paying with our cards, we paying with our phone, because we come into a cashless society. Look this up on your own. It's called RFID technology. They already have it in China. They already have it in Europe, where people are paying with chips in their hand. So I want to say this to the people in America. While you being overly entertained, while y'all think that I'm bugged out, I want to tell y'all, some of y'all going to be chipped as well. I'm getting off in 2 stops. I want to leave y'all with my testimony. I'm an ex-wannabe gang member. I carry guns. I did all that. I smoke more weed than most of y'all. When I gave my life to Jesus Christ, he changed me. So let me say something. I don't gangbang no more. I don't smoke weed no more. I don't do none of that. I wasn't crazy when I was doing that, right? But now I'm telling y'all, yo, get right with God. It's a new world order. Y'all think I'm crazy. I wasn't crazy when I was carrying guns, right? I wasn't crazy then. But now I got the Bible. I got the Bible, right? Let me show you. I'm getting off the
Brother.
Big facts. Big facts, big facts, big facts, man. Like I always tell you, don't be focused on the message. Don't be distracted by the messenger. Focus on the message. Because he definitely told you some stuff that you need to hear. He definitely had a message. It's just up for you to not be distracted by him and, you know what I'm saying, and how he looked, and, you know, receive the message for what it really is, a warning.
Daggone it. I felt all of that. People, I was not crazy when I was out here throwing parties, getting people drunk for free, having sex with whoever. I wasn't crazy then. Nah. I was being called a man then. But when I tell you that these so-called conspiracies are not conspiracies the way you're thinking, they're not theories. When I tell you this stuff, now I'm crazy. Now all I can tell you is this is for entertainment purposes. Like this video, this is for entertainment purposes. See, I have to say things like that so I won't be crazy. Let me tell you a story about me. I realized that people really can't handle the truth when I actually had to go to a mental hospital. Why did I have to go to a mental hospital? I had so much going on in my life. My grandfather had been diagnosed with cancer, and he had officially died. And not only that, but 2 years or just a few years before him, I had lost my grandmother who I grew up with. And then before her, I lost my other grandmother. Then I had my business, and then my business closed down. And then I had people who were really in my circle turning on me. I had a lot of stuff going on, and I just did not want to talk about it. And I broke down. I started to shake. So I'm in the hospital, and all they tell me is you need rest. So I spend 4 days in this hospital. I was really only supposed to be there for 3, right? In cases like this, I was supposed to be there for 3. Mind you, I've only done this one time in my life where I had to go to the hospital for my mental health. Now, when I'm sitting there talking to this lady about things that I'm actually doing with my life, I tell her that I am connected to people who actually work with billboards in New York City because I'm an artist. I'm a touring artist. You know what this woman said? She calls my mother, tells my mother that your son is being grandiose, like someone who is bipolar, or she comes up with all these names. Mind you, the proof of me actually having these connections was in my phone. The people with the connections that I'm talking to, the people that I'm connected to, were actively wondering where I was. But she would not let me go get my phone to prove it. So now I had to stay another 24 hours. When I got out of the hospital, I showed my mother the messages, and she didn't know what to say. When you start telling people the truth, they are convinced because they have not heard it before, or they are not aware of it, that it has a chance of not being true. And if they look at you and you have a certain image that they don't consider to be a truthful image in their perspective, they will count you out and just say that you are either a conspiracy theorist, or you're crazy, or religious. That's the other word they use. They use religious. They be like, oh, he's super religious. And that's a write-off. That's a write-off. They forget, like people that call me that forget that I am the guy who was sitting in classrooms reading to them. People forget that I was in the top percentile of my class. People forget that I went to college with a scholarship. Because why? Because I am smart. Straight up. I am intelligent. I have owned a business. I have done multiple things in my life that really point out that I'm smart. I was not crazy when I was a U.S. airman. But as soon as I told the truth, boy, get out of here. So I do relate to what that man is saying. And people, look at your dollar. Have you ever read your dollar? It's not even a book. Just read the few words on your dollar. Let me ask you a real question, y'all. This is real. You call the people that do things like this at the Bohemian Grove elites. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a real question. Pull out your dollar bill right now. Just pull out your dollar bill. Why would people actually represent something like that and then say, in God we trust? Who's their God? Who's their God? In God we trust. They're not talking about Yahuwah, because anybody that truly believes in Yahusha, anybody that truly believes in Yahuwah would not stand behind something like this. New World Order. That's on your dollar. That's on your dollar. That's on your dollar. This cartel right here, the Federal Reserve, is a cartel. That is a cartel. These people have you following something that makes no sense for your well-being. These people, these are real pictures from 2024, from a video that I watched. Oh my gosh. And guess what? The guy who actually posted this was brave enough to actually get in to get these pictures. Wow. This is the year of truth being revealed. And he was able to actually get into the Bohemian Grove. Do you guys understand how hard that really is? People have tried that already. It didn't work. As soon as you touch the pathway, the daggone security comes out. In this case, this man was fortunate enough to get in there by himself and get these pictures. Oh yeah, and finding the video is super hard.
Y'all, it's kind of lengthy. That video is kind of lengthy. But this is the end of the video. If y'all want to finish up that clip and find some more information or hear some more information on him, y'all go to his channel and get the rest of it. I don't want to just, play his whole, video, but yeah, it's a lot of people out here that go through the same type of, situations with, coming out and trying to, keep it real is what I'm going to say. That's the word I'm going to choose to use, is keep it real with the truth of what's going on out here, man. Some will say you conspiracy theorist. Some people will say, oh, you're a crackpot. Some will say you're going crazy. Some, it's always some, they saying something. You know what I'm saying? But you got to stay true to you and true to the man upstairs, God, and let, do your part and do what he's asking you to do. And you know what I'm saying? And just, pass on the truth. Help, help the next person. Each one teach one, you know what I'm saying? Scratch each other's back, you know what I'm saying? I scratch yours, you scratch mine, and you know what I'm saying? You scratch mine, I scratch yours. It's just like that, man. We all, you know what I'm saying, need to come together and get what we need to get done. It's just plain and simple, man. Like I said, it's the end of the video. Y'all don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on your way out, especially if you're new to the channel. I hope you have a good night, good day, whenever you're watching this video. It's your boy Koozie. I'm out. Holla, catch you next video.